Welcome back to a brand new review for Young Justice, episode 17, Leviathan Wakes, with your host Terrell and Najir as we bring you our commentary on the greatest cartoon show, like I said, on TV.
It's a great cartoon, but it's not the greatest. I mean, the
Oh,
'90s happened, sir. I just want you to know that. Like, there's a lot of competition that's gonna uh debunk your claim that this came out of the '90s alone.
mm.
But for what it's worth, Young Justice is hella awesome, and we love it.
So we're going to deep dive into episode 17. What did you think about the ocean politics of episode 17?
That's exactly what it is. I mean, yeah, the first three episodes definitely kind of laid the landscape in terms of how much the show has matured, where this season could go. But now we're starting to get really focused into certain elements of the three things, where we talked a little bit about them kind of hitting at certain problems and certain circumstances that are happening. But this one now is focusing on Atlantis, where we kind of see, like I say, in terms of the politics, but sort of the mystery and the suspicion of everything, obviously trying to get into Ocean Master's dilemma, the search for the crown, and also some kind of envy that's kind of going on here. Kind of hearing people kind of talk about Aquaman, the new of Aquaman, and even the previous Aquaman, who kind of has said, "Hey, I'll go back to the Justice League."
Right.
There's a lot kind of going on here, and I think that we more or less got a sense of where everybody's psychology is at right now.
Right.
And you know, we focused on Aquaman, formerly known as Aqualad, in Calderon now, in terms of everything he's been kind of battling but not really processing. And we kind of at the end of this episode kind of see that he now realizes that he needs to focus on that. But in the meantime, this search for the crown, it were really deep on the bottom of the sea. Yeah.
Like, how are they surviving no food? I mean, I guess they water beings, they don't have to eat.
Everybody's looking scruffy. I mean,
Right.
time has definitely passed there. I mean, this is like a covert mission that, you know, no one is aware of, but they've been gone for a while, and they succeeded in getting the crown, and that brought more questions than answers. So there's that. But you know, very very solid episode 4. This feels like an episode 1, because we're starting to see where things are going to build with everything happening down in the political state of Atlantis right now.
Yeah, you see, like this also closes the chapter on how this season is doing this every 4 episode build. It's like its own, like, I want to say saga, or like a specific pinpointed look at each individual character. And right now we're seeing a lot of characters viewpoint of, like, of course, doing their own thing and they got their own stuff going on, but how everybody is dealing with the grief of losing friends and heroes, and everybody has a process. And you see with Calderon, his thing is just keep working.
Yeah.
And man, just telling him, like, yo, you need to take a break. Like,
Yeah.
you ain't working straight. Like, you need to take a break. Like, you keep giving your excuse to keep moving, so you don't have to stop and think about what happened. And
Yeah.
we see at the end of this episode, like, he's on off whatever this. I'm guessing that's like the watchtower or whatever. But they're, you know, everybody's talking, everybody's going through a moment. They show like the graves, the hollow graves of like the previous heroes that died.
Yeah.
And they mentioned Jason Todd, which I'm like, I didn't even know Jason Todd existed in this universe, because they really don't mention it all too much. And also,
Yeah.
we know that Jason eventually becomes Red Hood. But like I said, we see everybody dealing with the grief thing in their own way. You see Beast Boy with popping the pills. You see you know, Megan doing her thing. She just needed to be around family and stuff like that to kind of deal with it. She's still going through it. And you see, like you said, Calderon just kind of working through it. And of course, Dick and everybody else, they used to it. You know what I mean? That's the job. You know what I mean? You lose a friend every day in Gotham. So everybody has a different way of dealing with it.
And I also think too, when you kind of take a look at Lagan's like commentary in this episode, he has a lot of appreciation for Calderon in this, but he also really revealed that he also expressed his envy of him.
Right.
And I think he's the happy medium of expression of balance but purpose, which we ultimately see him get his promotion at the end of this. You know, original Aquaman gives his definitely his cosign of saying, like, well, they can have this many Green Lanterns, this many Robins, and all this other stuff.
Flashes.
yeah, Flashes. Like, yeah, we can have a bunch of Aquamans up there, and I think that this was cool because like we see, instead of going the envious route, to just kind of being more sincere, that you can achieve where you ultimately want to be. Which this may seem like throwaway commentary, but this is actually the issue that Ocean Master has with Aquaman, where he's like, I deserve to be this, and all this conflict, and it's basically them playing chess with one another. But like, we see that did not work, but we also see them kind of come to a resolve of saying like, hey, we're brothers. I know we don't always agree, but I always got you, even in these circumstances where it seems to be you after me. I know that it wasn't, because if you was after me, it'd be a little bit more strategical. So like, while there is a lot of politics count on, there was a lot of resolve, but not to mention too, which I know you want to talk on, actually getting exposure to Vandal Savage's plan here, and how that really was.
My head.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, man. And this is like the culmination of season 1 up till now. This is the entire purpose of why the Light was formed, that we're finally getting to see what's going on, and we're getting more insight into Vandal Savage's plan and his whole battle with like the Lords of Chaos and the Lords of Order. And you know, this episode is seeing him trying to find a way to get his own agent of order on his side, under his control, which he thought he was going to be able to do by cloning Ocean Master or his grandson or whatever, and getting him the crown. And that just didn't work out because they were already on to him. And Dr. Fate, you know, comes and said, yeah, that's not how that's gonna go. Your time out is about to be out the door. So it's really going to be curious, like I said, to see how this season even ends, because this is really Vandal Savage focused at the end of each episode, to be honest.
Yeah.
And what he's doing, because right now you say they were trying to build an army of metas. That was like the big thing, because they wanted some type of protection against the Lords of Chaos, and that was one of the big reasons. Of course, like, you know, of course they were going to betray Darkseid and everything else, but that's the end game to it all, is having some type of from what I can see, some type of protection against the Lords of Chaos because of what happened to Atlantis and what he allowed to happen. And you know, he wants to take this global, not just Earth. So it is crazy. It's crazy how this is going to wind up, you know, coming down in the end. But we'll see. Like,
yeah, I also just think that it should be very clear that you know, having somebody like McGann accessible at any given time is very vital to whatever type of discovery that you have, and we knew she was going to get to the bottom of it. And yeah, she made it very clear. And poor Ocean Master, he's one of my favorite villains, but like, no one should have to be subjected to constant sessions with McGann, and he looked very stressed out, and well, but also the truth was exposed here, so there's that. But you know, the thing about the crown, and with the crown completely just, you know, Mortal Kombat finish here, it was a moment of truth. It's like, yeah, but look, it's funny because in terms of politics, you had everybody kind of rooting, like, yeah, this is our rightful king, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so you give the people what they want and realize that it ain't really what they need. You know what I mean? And that was kind of poetic, shall I say?
A really weird reaction to it too, because everybody was just like in awe. But you think people would panic, like, what the heck just happened? They're like, yeah, he's dead. Okay, who's next? You know what I mean? Like, there was no question. And that moment where Aquaman, or, you know, I can't think of his real name, he calls him, he said, hey, his brother, like, you don't have to do this. And he knew that he knew, and yeah, he did it anyway. And then
author too. I just keep thinking about it as author. Yeah.
His name's not Aquaman, Terrell.
I keep saying it too, but I was like, author. Yeah.
But he tried to stop him, and you know, I don't know what it is about this show, and they're being real friendly with cloning, because that's like a frequent thing, like cloning
always,
and Superboy, and you know, just like, you know, he's a part of me, he's part of Lex.
Yeah,
like, he's my brother. And I'm like, what? Like, so
yeah,
they real happy with the cloning process. And you know, Aquaman's like, yeah, he's still my brother. Okay, I forgive you. I'm like, yo, your brother's dead, bro.
Yeah. Yo, when what's his name put the crown on, and we should really talk about that really quick. When he put the crown on, and all the people's like, yeah, and then he got his disintegrating and whatnot. I forgot his name quick, but when the power of the crown then went very astral somewhere. We have to see where that kind of plays dividends going forward, because yes, all the power of the crown has been removed. It definitely went somewhere very, very astral, and we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, a new king of Atlantis had to be crowned. Arthur was definitely everyone's easy second choice, but he said, nah, we're going to do things a little bit. And then progressive season 4 of Young Justice, it is no other than Mirror, who this would never happen in live action, by the way. There's way too much politics with that. There's some casting issues that folks were definitely not going to go for this. That movie will be canceled. But it was a good, refreshing take in seeing the change in hierarchy for what we're typically accustomed to.
Yeah, you can tell he was just about done. I mean, you can tell over the last 4 episodes he was just about done with it anyway. Like he kind of just wanted to chill back with his family and like you say, get back with the league and try to do more, because like you really see him like step away from it over the seasons where you really don't see Aquaman as much.
Yeah. He definitely Tom Brady. He definitely was like, retirement seems great. Now he's like, nah, put me back in the game, coach. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, don't get me all this king stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Title Aquaman.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm curious as to see, because like I said, we don't have no preview of like what the next group of episodes is going to be on, who it's going to be on. But I definitely want to see, obviously, where this Vandal Savage thing lays out. I mean, we've already got the whole battle with Clarion and the Lords of Chaos kind of trying to overstep their bounds, and of course Dr. Fate correcting that order, because this is like right after they try to blow up the Earth basically, and Vandal Savage, where he is now, he's on War World because he tried to pack everything off of Earth because he expected it to be gone. He didn't think they were going to be able to stop what was going on.
Yeah.
But bring Wally back, man. I don't understand why he's been gone so long. It's been like 2 seasons. It's just the Speed Force. The Speed Force doesn't kill anybody. They need to. I really think they're gonna bring Wally back. I
think so. I mean, we said that in the last review. I think Wally is that, and then when you talk about Connor and what's kind of happening with that, I mean, that kind of flashback that we got to like very early Young Justice. It's been a while. I want to say that has to be probably season 1 or 2. They're definitely hinting towards that, and I also think that the fans want it, and I think Speed Force and them talking about time travel and all this other stuff.
They grabbed the Flash at the end of that last episode. So we definitely about to see some wacky tacky time travel.
Right on. and I think like I said, we got little tidbits of the different scenarios happening with all of the different members of the Justice League. So now it seems like we got to be kind of going towards Connor, which Connor had this, this moment and talking about Superman and how Superman knew and all this other stuff. Superman obviously being invested into all these things happening, going back and getting Wally. Like, there's a lot of sprinkles to let me think that that's going to be next, along with Kyle. I'm about to say Kyle. Aqualad. God, I forgot his name. Slipped out of my head real quick. But now he needs to sit here and battle his mental health, and I think now that he's starting to come to terms with all the members of the league that they lost, he needs to make a decision here.
It's like 4 people. I think they make it seem like it's like 10, 12 people that's died. I'm not, but those people have also played a big impact. You know what I mean? In the team, and like you said, I really don't really see Jason, because I don't remember seeing Jason at all. Like in the season, maybe I missed. I know it was Tim, but I don't remember seeing Jason.
Either way, I think it's getting to him, and with him stepping away with his boyfriend, and he said he's needing time. I think that this is where we're going to start to see a side of him that we haven't seen. When Aqualad came out initially as being queer, it was a step in what we wasn't used to in terms of this show. I don't think they've ever really focused on their relationship at all. And I think if there's anybody that's going to be able to like get into his mental, his parents didn't work.
Right.
The team didn't work, So at this point now, it seems like this is what that's going to be. And he says he needs some time away because he's like, good. Well, if there's going to be another Aquaman, then perfect. And you're going to return back to Justice League, then perfect. Then I guess I can take time away to go do something. So that's what we're kind of seeing with that. So that's going to be interesting. And like I said, Dr. Fate at the end saying Vandal Savage. And we're going to see how that plays out.
Really pissed him off. So
yeah, my man out here breaking shit like.
Man, the show's great, man. So great.
Yeah.
10 years in the making.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Anything else on that?
No, we'll be back next week. We kind of see everybody kind of chilling down in Atlantis. Things seem to be good, babies and shit, and yeah. But till then, we'll be back next week. To talk the next episode. We'll kind of see where this whole Connor situation is kind of happening in this Astro world without Travis Scott. But we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's all I got.
Well, on that note, we will see you guys next time.
Thank you for tuning in. Big Gold Bell.